Hi and welcome to Ecobubl. We're a renewable energy advice centre based in Warminster, Wiltshire. We design and supply renewable products for both trade and homeowner customers. Today we're in Trowbridge to do the unboxing of a GivEnergy battery and inverter. We're going to show you what components come in the GivEnergy battery boxes, how to install them, how to set the cloud-based program as well. This isn't a training video, this is just to give you a bit more insight into what the product is. If you do want training programs, you can get them directly from GivEnergy. So the guys are going to be installing two 5.2 kilowatt GivEnergy batteries to a 3.6 kilowatt hybrid inverter. This will all then be connected to a 3.4 kilowatt Longi solar panel system on the roof. Let's open the boxes and take a look. Okay. So as you can see, the batteries are pretty well packed in there. Here you've got your installation manual. You've also got your small communications device there, don't lose that. You've got yourself a bag of bolts for your connecting bits in there. Down here you've got your cables, that's going to connect your battery to your inverter. And then more importantly right here, you've got your wall bracket, make sure that's on properly. Each of these batteries weighs around 50 kilos, so make sure you've got some help lifting them. So here's the contents of what you should find inside your GivEnergy battery box. So onto the hybrid inverter. This one also comes with a wall bracket. So you've got your wall bracket there. This is your hybrid inverter. Over here you've got your CT clamp. We're not going to be using this one in this install today. We're going to be using an EM115, which is a meter and CT clamp in one. So this is everything you should be getting in your inverter box. So over here you've got your PV connection, so you've got string 1 and string 2, you've got your battery plus and minus. Over here you've got your DC isolator, you've got your USB for your dongle here, and you've got your connection bay there for your BMS and your CT clamps. Over here you've got your grid supply, and over here you've got your essential supply for emergencies. So this is the EM115 grid monitoring meter, and it has its own CT clamp at the bottom. Make sure the arrow in the middle of this is facing towards a consumer unit and it's secured properly. This is your GivEnergy dongle. This is connected to the bottom of your inverter. You can also get this in a 3G version, and GivEnergy provides you with a data card for that. This allows you to get access to all your web-based programs so you can see how your system is performing. So here's the inverter bracket. When you put this up, make sure you've got at least 400 across the top and sides and at least 300 on the bottom. The battery brackets are very similar to fit. Once you've got the inverter bracket up, you can then pick it up and put it on the wall and make sure you pin it with the 2 retaining pins. All GivEnergy hybrid inverters are IP65 rated, so can be installed outdoors. They also rely on natural air convection to keep the system cool. That's why it's so important to get those clearances correct. So now we've got the inverter and the 2 batteries fitted, it's time to get them connected to the PV and the main power supply. So this is a finished PV system. This is a 3.4 kilowatt system using 11 315 Longi panels. This is Ashley, works for GivEnergy Electricals, and his job today is to bring up the main power supply from the fuse board to connect to the inverter. This is the mains fuse board for the inverter. They've also installed a separate power socket, which in the event of a power cut will become live and provide up to 2.6 kilowatts of power. This is a DC isolator, and it sits between the inverter and the battery. This will isolate the battery from the inverter. Only one of these is required on a multiple battery application. Be warned, the isolator is labelled positive on the top left and bottom right. You don't cross the cables over in this one. Both red wires go to the left hand side, both black wires go to the right hand side. This is a wiring configuration that we're using today. There are many configurations, so please make sure you check with GivEnergy that you are using the correct diagram. This is a main power supply connection. This 3.6 kilowatt inverter needs a 20 amp supply. We're now going to show you the connections from the inverter to the EM115. Using a screened cable, which is not provided with the battery, connect the 2-core wire from meter port connection RS positive and RS negative to the terminal 10 and 9. You'll also have to install a 230 volts main power supply to terminal 3 and 4 on the EM115. The CT clamp will already be connected at the bottom of the terminals 1 and 2. Now the connections from the inverter to the battery. Using the 2-core cable supplied with the battery, connect the terminals BMS port positive and negative on the inverter to the battery connection RS485. If you're connecting more than one battery, then connect them together by connecting them to the 4-pin terminal connections to and from each battery. Don't forget to plug in the USB communication device into the battery USB port. Connect the DC cable supplied with the battery to the positive and negative on the inverter to the positive and negative on the battery. You'll notice that on the battery there are 2 lots of connections. This is to connect the next battery on a multiple battery installation. The inverter connection CT port. As we mentioned earlier, we won't be using the CT clamp that was supplied with the inverter, so you won't need to wire anything in at this port. The first connected battery is the master pack battery, and all DIN switches remain off. The first slave battery would have DIN switch 1 switched on, the second battery would have DIN switch 2 switched on, and so on for the other batteries. If you are unsure on any part of the installation, you can give GivEnergy a ring, who are always happy to help, on 01377 252 874. The install is going really well. Ash is just connecting the mains power supply to the inverter and also connecting a separate one for the essentials power supply in the event of a power cut. So what do you think of the GivEnergy system so far?
Yeah, it's really good.
So here it is, the finished article. The guys did a really good job on this install. It's really nice and tidy. Now we've just got to get on and do the commissioning. So the Wi-Fi dongle is now all attached and secure, so now it's time to get it commissioned. To do that, you're going to need to have access to the engineer's online platform for the GivEnergy Cloud. This is how you set up the Wi-Fi dongle. When the Wi-Fi dongle is searching for a connection, the blue light in the case flashes. This light is solid when it's found a connection. You'll need to connect to your homeowner's internet. However, you can pair to a phone if you just want to test the system works. How to configure the internet connection. To connect your wireless dongle, go to your Wi-Fi settings in your computer and you will see the serial number appear in the list of available devices. Select your device and wait to connect. Open the web browser and type in 10.10.100.254. You should be prompted to enter in your credentials. By default, the username and password are both admin. This can be reconfigured at a later date for security if you or the end user wish to do so. Click STA Interface Settings on the left to configure the dongle, and the following page will load. Click Search next to APs at the top of the page and look for the wireless network connection you wish to connect your dongle to. If you can't find the network, you can refresh the page. If selected correctly, the program will populate the field. Ensure the correct security code is selecting, typically WPA2PSK, and enter the password in the passphrase field. Click Apply and confirm these settings. Once you have configured the Wi-Fi dongle to the customer's internet, you will need to add the Wi-Fi device to your customer's account in the GivEnergy Cloud. On the back of the Wi-Fi device is a serial number and a VC number. You'll need these to add the device to their account. Now that the dongle's all been connected up to the engineer's account, it's time to give GivEnergy's technical support team a ring so they can start the commissioning process to make sure everything's running smoothly. GivEnergy have been in contact and now the system is commissioned. They're very happy with the installation. Now we're going to go take a look on the online web-based program, which is going to show us how much the PV is generating, how much the battery is charging and discharging, and how much the house is actually using at the moment. GivEnergy Cloud shows you the time and weather in your location. The first reading is the solar PV production and how much is generated that day. The electricity flow diagram shows you the direction of electricity flow from your PV system into your house or the battery, charge or decharge, and even in or out of the grid. The system also shows you the current house demand, how much you have consumed today, and the battery charge status, information and throughput. The last reading on the grid power status is how much you have imported and exported. Finally, you can choose a graph of just one of the above readings or all of them. You can also print off a daily report which shows you how green you have been today. That's it from us today. We really hope you enjoyed our unboxing video of the GivEnergy battery system. We'd like to help support our local trade and retail customers through the Southwest, though we do also supply nationally. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!